Dear Diary. This will be my first vlog, aka Dear Diary. Journal, as they say. I didn't think I was going to have really much to talk about today, but figured I would vlog it anyway. How y'all doing? Mama K here. Mask on, technically. Well, I don't know what I was going to say about it, but anyway. I was sitting there tonight watching Andy Griffith. My face is hardening. This is a clay mask, by the way. I was watching Andy Griffith, giving my husband attention. He sleeps during the night. I sleep during the day. I'm up at night. I have insomnia. He has restless legs, so I don't normally can sleep when he's tossing and turning. So over time, it's just kind of messed up my sleep schedule. So I sleep during the day. Anywho, we had ate supper. And we usually pick something to watch. We'll burn through seasons of whatever sometimes at night because we cut our cable a while back. So tonight was Andy Griffith, as it has been for the past week or so. And we were sitting there watching. I was like, you know what? I've been meaning to make him some cookies. He likes cookies. I'm not big on sweets, but I had bought some blueberry tidbits. I don't know if you've ever been to Waffle House, but they used to have these little powdered little balls in a container when I worked there. When you would want blueberry pancakes, it was a dehydrated powder of something. I learned later those are called tidbits. Different companies, different brands do them different ways, different shapes, but it's basically just blueberries ground up, mixed with flour and some other things and sweetened. That way you can keep it in the freezer and they're ready to go whenever you want to make some kind of treat. And I've been hankering for some blueberry pancakes. I don't want real blueberries because I don't like seeds. I don't like the little things getting in my teeth. So I looked and found some gourmet tidbits on Amazon. And I got to thinking, I was like, ooh, he would probably like them in cookies. I could make some kind of sugar cookie deal and put them in there. And then I got to thinking, I was like, I have white chocolate chips. I don't eat white chocolate. I don't know how I wound up with a bag of white chocolate chips, but I have them. So I'll use them for that because he likes like white chocolate and macadamia cookies occasionally. So I was like, you know what, I could do blueberries, I can do white chocolate. Let's look for a recipe. Well, I'm trying to be healthier, and some of this clay is still wet apparently in my nose. Anyway, I was trying to be healthy, so we bought recently, trying to think of what it's called. Oh, it is almond flour instead of regular flour. Plus, my body gets where it doesn't handle. I kind of think I have celiac disease, that gluten crap people talk about. Because my body just does not like certain things sometimes, and it tends to be like bread products. Anyway, so over time, my milk intolerance the past few years has gotten violent. It wasn't always like that. And it has gotten there, and bread has become where it does a little pinching inside my stomach after I eat bread products and certain other products. So I kind of think that's my problem, and the older I get, the worse it gets. Anyway, that's here nor there. So I thought, perfect moment. He likes desserts. Me not so much, but if I'm going to pick something, it's going to be like a plain old sugar cookie type thing. I'm more of a cheesecake if I'm going to eat a dessert. I don't like cakes, don't like pies. But if I'm going to have some kind of sweet, it's going to be plain Jane, semi-sweet type things. So I was like, hey babe, pause the show. And I was like, never mind, you just keep it playing. I'm going to go in the kitchen. I'm going to make cookies real quick. He's like, oh, what you going to make? And I was like, it's a surprise. So I come in the kitchen. I hear the show going. After a few seconds, it quits. I'm like, okay. I guess we're not listening to the show now. So I messaged him and was like, hey, I could hear the show from the kitchen. And he never responded. It showed that he saw the message, but he never responded. Typical Samsquatch move. Whatever. Luckily, this recipe calls for, a few simple ingredients, and it only made about this much. And I do have a shirt on underneath, but it's ugly. It made a few cookies, and I wasn't sure how it's going to turn out because I have never used almond flour, and apparently it is different from using regular flour. I'm great at cooking and everything, but have never in my life experimented with almond flour. So this was new, learning experience. It was pretty cool. It was a shortbread type recipe that I picked for a sugar cookie. Instead of powdered sugar, though, I used half aspartame and half real sugar. I didn't think it would affect it too much, and it doesn't seem to have. But anyway, I didn't have powdered sugar, so that's like the ingredient that, other than flavor-wise, that I changed. So I took the regular shortbread recipe and then added, because all those components are what help it bind, I'm guessing. And then your other stuff, of course, like chocolate chips, those don't help you bind, so that's not going to matter. Anyway, so I make it, and when they first come out, I don't know if you've ever made sugar cookies or any type of cookie, period, that's a soft type cookie. When you make soft cookies that require only 10 to 12 minutes to bake at a lower heat, when you first pull them out, you really don't want to touch them because they're just going to turn into mush and fall apart. So you have to gently, usually you're going to use parchment paper, and lift the parchment paper and just put it off on a cooling rack, because you can't kind of scoop them off the pan unless you know what you're doing. I just suggest 90% of the time, if you don't know what you're doing, this is your first time, don't do it. I have done it before, and I do it with when I cook sweetie cookies. They're very popular here in Texas. Anyway, sweetie cookies are like that. So I've had plenty of time to experiment and learn my lesson with those. So, anyway, so I had no problem. I moved them off. They cool off. And I go back in there, and I'm trying to be a sweet wife making dessert for my hardworking man. I'm like, hey, babe. And I hear... Wah, wah, wah. Guess I'm the only one that's gonna be eating these cookies, even though they were made for him. Those are really good. So what I went with, y'all, I'm not big on sweets, but I also don't like dry things, and cookies to me are kind of dry, even though these cookies, I don't know if you can tell from visually, these cookies are a shortbread cookie, and they are soft as I don't know what, and they are moist. It's just a texture thing for me. They're dry. And me, I don't know if you paid attention to my other video, I'm a thirstaholic. My mouth is always dry feeling, so I constantly crave fluids. So things like this just make me go, makes me want to dip it and soak it in milk. And anyway, so that's why I'm not big on a lot of sweets. Plus, sugar makes me gag. But flavor-wise, man. So what I did, if you're interested, is I took the shortbread recipe, and I could have just, you know, left it as a sugar cookie type thing, but they did vanilla extract. I went with lemon extract because I have had a lemon cheesecake type or a lemon icebox pie type thing with blueberry drizzle on it before, and I thought, instead of vanilla, let me do the the lemon, and then I'll throw the blueberry tidbits in with the white chocolate. So it gives it a creamy taste. Anyway, turned out wonderful. So, happy experiment. No one to enjoy it but myself, because Samsquatch fell asleep. That is how my life goes. So, that's what I did today.